building new habits is really simple. And when I look back, I have always tried to force my new habits or even breaking an old habit. But every single time when I would finally get to a point where everything was easy, I did these three things. I've always tried to do it out of force. Just push myself, have the will to do it. But I would, over time, change my strategy, still wanting to create the same habit, just going about it in different ways. And when I look back, this is exactly what I was doing when I finally found something that stuck. A trigger, the action itself, and reinforce it. I was triggering myself, leaving myself notes, making sure I saw these notes. After I saw the note, I would do the action because it would encourage me or trigger me. And then afterwards, I would reward myself because I would feel so good about having done it. I would go treat myself. I could have sat down and consciously made the effort to choose these three steps: a trigger, the action, and the reward. And this habit would have felt easy. It wouldn't have been so difficult. I wouldn't have had to force myself or push myself or just rely on sheer will. Think about other habits. When you get up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? If you're like me, you get a cup of coffee. Why? Because that time of day is a trigger. Every day I get up, I make a cup of coffee. And what's the reward? I sit back and I enjoy it. It tastes good. It feels good. Its hotness, the creaminess, that is the reward in itself. Every habit you have is like this. So any new habit that you want to create or an old habit that you want to break, you can take this information and apply this. Which is good news because that means that we can anticipate the triggers and replace the action with something else, therefore creating a new habit and simultaneously breaking an old one. So think about being stressed out and biting your nails. Trigger being you're stressed out, something is going on. The action, you biting your nails. The reward, the relief from zoning out or whatever. I don't know. I don't bite my nails. But by knowing that that stress is going to trigger that bad habit, you can choose a different action. So, I don't know, doodling on a piece of paper. So every time you are triggered to start biting your nails, something is stressful going on, you know that you're going to want to start chewing on your nails. And instead, you grab a piece of paper and a pen and you start drawing stuff down. You still get the same relief or benefit reward as you would from chewing on your nails and zoning out for a little bit, but without the negative consequences, having gross, ugly nails. So when you're trying to build a new habit, you can plan this out for yourself and make it as easy as making a cup of coffee in the morning. A trigger could be the time of day, a certain location, a sound. When I start meditation, I always hear the bowl, the boom. And for me, that immediately cues me to take a breath, settle into myself. That is a trigger. And you can do this for yourself. Location, anytime you work at home, having an office where that office is strictly dedicated to work. If you are trying to make it a habit of working on your business, having a place that is dedicated to that so that every time you walk into that space, you are triggered to work on your business. Some other triggers would be your emotional state, like when you're stressing out and chewing on your nails. There are a million other emotional states, and a lot of times in those emotional states we make bad choices, or apparently we are triggered to make bad habits. So if you would like to stop something such as drinking or smoking or something that is harmful when you're in those emotional states, now you know that you can just replace it by doing something else, and it will seem just as easy. So you've decided on a trigger, you know what action you want to change, and it's time to talk about the reward. The reward is a tricky part. It has to be something that you're really looking forward to. It can't be something small that you don't actually enjoy or it's kind of nice. It has to be something that you completely forget about the action itself. The moment that you see the trigger, you associate the trigger with the reward, not the action. The moment you see your workout clothes, you immediately think about your coffee. You're not worried about exercising. Your brain doesn't even think about the exercising. You see workout clothes, you go, ooh, coffee. Something simple and something enjoyable, and it has to be done immediately. You can't work out for 5 days and then go reward yourself for a coffee. You have to have it every single time. Within minutes of doing your new habit, you have to reward yourself. So keep it simple, but keep it really positive, something you really enjoy. And within no time, you will have a new habit that you are not even thinking about doing. Building habits doesn't have to be hard. If you take the time to consider these steps and set yourself up for success.